Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel, eddieinreadingland. My name is Eddie and today I'm bringing you the tarot that I use from Yule all the way to Imbolc. Okay guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started because I have a little bit of a cold and I'm a little bit congested, as you guys can actually probably hear. And I've been coughing a lot, and I apologize if I cough on the video. Hopefully not. I'm drinking this very soothing chamomile, honey, and lemon tea. It's working wonders for my throat right now, and I'm just probably gonna keep drinking it until I feel a lot better on my throat. But I did use 4 decks for Yule, starting Yule, and 3 tarot decks and an oracle deck. And let's just get started with the oracle deck. Here is Alice the Wonderland Oracle. I decided that I was going to use Alice the Wonderland Oracle because I haven't used this as a daily draw for me, for myself. For a very long time. It's been years, and I think I was back in Costa Rica when I was journaling with this one on a daily basis. But then it was a very long time after actually Yule last year. So, but I really enjoy working with this. Oh, this is my favorite card in the deck, by the way. I did notice while working with this deck, let me bring this a little lower, hopefully, without... Okay, here we go. I got this card about, I want to say 3 or 4 times, probably more, while using this oracle deck during this time. I realized that I was having a little bit of trouble with one of my childhood, maybe not trauma, but one of the difficulties from my childhood that I haven't been able to develop in my adult life. And I'm thankful for the deck that I'm actually going to use for Imbolc. And spoilers, I'm just going to use one deck, but I'll talk about that at the end of the video. But yeah, I like this deck. This deck is incredibly insightful. I actually use this deck for client readings when it's about relationships. I usually use it at the end of the reading to provide a positive, maybe not a positive message, but provide a takeaway from, or a summary of the whole reading for them. Because for some reason, I find that, and actually, Raecine from Owl Moon 513. She's extremely popular. I'm gonna put her channel in the bottom in the description. But she uses this deck, and I think this one in Le Vampire, she was saying that she likes to use them for client readings, especially for relationship readings, and I agree with her. This is better for a what I call a normal client reading. That is not to do with a breakup, or is not to do with an issue in the relationship. It's more about development and I don't know, maybe working in something in the relationship that they need to work on. This is a great deck for that, I find. Yeah, but working with this deck for a daily practice, it has been incredibly illuminating, especially because it has given me a lot of references to my childhood, which is surprising to me because usually when I'm doing daily draws, my childhood or my inner child doesn't really come out, but it seems to be coming out a lot, or it came out a lot during Yule, especially when using this tarot deck. This oracle deck. And I obviously love it because it's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland inspired. And if I haven't mentioned it before, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is my favorite book. And obviously, or not obviously, usually anything that is related to Alice, I actually like. Alice in Wonderland, and the Cheshire Cat is my favorite. Oh, look at that Cheshire Cat. The Cheshire Cat is my favorite character in Alice, even more than Alice. But yeah, so I used Alice in Wonderland Oracle. Amazing to come back to it, and knowing that I am able to work with it just as good as I did before when I got it the first time. I will probably keep using this for my daily draw. That's actually, I use all of my decks for daily draw, but not my Oracle decks for some reason, and I'm trying to change that. I'm doing my best to change that. So let's see how it goes. But the next tarot that I used was the Botan Tarot by Miyako M. And let me tell you, this, I thought when I saw the illustrations, which by the way, all of them were gorgeous, that it was going to be quite a romantic sort of deck. And the only reason why I acquired the deck, by the way, there's a whole flip through of this deck in the channel, guys, if you're interested in seeing it. But yeah, oh, and I actually usually use reversals, not usually, I actually use reversals with this deck, but I put all of the cards right side up so that for the video. Yes, working with this deck turned out to be not romantic at all. It is very optimistic. Maybe not very optimistic, but it is optimistic, and it's very soothing. It's very accurate with reading emotions. It's a very watery sort of deck, I find. After using it, that has been my experience. Now, I use this for client readings, and actually for one client reading. And I had something happen with this deck that has never happened to me in all of the years that I've read for other people, which basically was that my client asked me for pen and paper to write what I was I was telling her. It was a career business spread, or a career business consultation, shall we say. And she was just writing everything down that I was saying, and she was incredibly happy with how the reading turned out. She got a lot of information, and I was very surprised that this deck was able to do that, because again, I thought it was going to be a more romantic deck. I thought it was going to be a more familial and relationship sort of deck, and it could be. It could probably be that as well, but because again, I find that this deck is extremely good at reading people's emotions, especially my own emotions, and having me just journal on and on about them. So very much enjoyed working with this deck. I do have to say that a review is coming. I'm preparing a review for this deck for the channel. Because I want to, and it's I have a lot of things to say about it, and I already have a lot of annotations on it. It's been an incredible deck to work with. If you guys have the chance to purchase this deck, please do so, because Addie, the creator of the deck, usually throws batches of the deck. Every so often. She doesn't do it. The deck is not available all the time, but it is still available. And I think she will have it available, oh god, very soon, if not. But I'll leave the link in the bottom so you guys can check it out, of course. Really like the imagery on the deck. The imagery on the deck is very sensitive, or it sensitivizes me in a way. Hopefully that's a word. I'm not really sure if it's a word or not, but it makes me feel sensitive. That's what I mean. But yes, beautiful illustrations, very soothing, very watery deck. I very much enjoy working with this deck. Actually, I use this deck as well for Samhain. From Samhain to Yule, I was working with this deck as well. I just had to pick it up again for Yule because I am having such a great time working with it. So definitely recommend this one. It looks like it's deviating from the Rider-Waite-Smith depictions of the deck, but if you read the guidebook, you'll be great. The pips they're telling a story, and the court cards are actually representing animals in those stories. I will talk more about that when, so for example, this is Sparrow. I will talk more about that when I make the review, so that you guys know. But yeah, there is the Botan Tarot by Adi Miyako, or Miyako M, as she is stated over here. Let's see, Miyako M. Yeah, that's the artist name. Her name is Addie. She's really nice. I really like her. She has an Instagram account as well, and I follow her. Okay, and the next deck that I used was, let's see, we can put this up a little. There we go. The Porcelain Tarot. This is a tarot that I actually like to use for Christmas, and that's why I picked it up in Yule, because I thought it was going to be really cool, and not because it's a cool sort of deck with the colors, but it's the most glittery deck that I have, and it makes me think about Christmas. And that's usually the time of the year where I use it. We have the Lovers. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so see, it's very glittery. It reminds me of snow, even though I know that this is supposed to be chipped porcelain. But yeah, again, had a lot of fun reading with this deck. This is a very positive, very uplifting sort of deck for me, because it's very funny. I used to not buy or not be in alignment with these sort of cartoony, more happy, more joyful, more what is it? I guess infantile is the word, but it's just it has enough of the Rider-Waite-Smith symbology, and it doesn't. It's not scared to go there. It's not all happiness in the deck, and I really appreciate that. Even though they all look like children and they all look like they're happy. Well, but see, in this Five of Cups, this figure over here looks actually like it's crying, and it's sad, and it's a sad scene. So I like that it doesn't deviate from the Rider-Waite-Smith, and I like that they're not afraid to be dark in this very joyful sort of place and sort of world that they have created of porcelain. So I'm grateful for that. That's probably the reason why I like to use the deck, because there is enough shadow in the lightness that makes me want to work with it. But yeah, for the most part, very uplifting, very positive message sort of deck. This deck is great for client readings because it's not scary. The devil card is just ridiculous. Hopefully we're able to see it, but the most scary cards are not, or the usually scary cards are not scary. They're very mild, and they're very, like I said, they just look like kids, and they look like they're playing around. So it's a great deck to use for clients. I like the color scheme. This almost teal, electric blue, very cold blue, azure colors. It's very soothing. It's very pacifying, and for some reason, very it just brightens up. Even though it's just one color palette. It's just the blue color palette, but it's bright. I do my daily draws in the morning, and this deck is just incredibly bright. This is the Sun card, and it works out for me in a way that it makes me happy. It makes me smile, and sometimes I need some of that, especially in Yule. Yule is not a very I was gonna say it's not a very happy time for me, but I have enjoyed and I have experienced a lot of happiness in the past Yule, so that is not accurate. But it is not a typical normal time for me where I'm in my full emotional capacity. It's probably the opposite. It probably is the holiday blues, but I'm doing my very best to step away from that as much as I can, and this deck helps me do that, or help me do that. So very grateful that I'm working, that I have been working with this deck, and that I have it in my collection, because it's just loads of fun. It's just too much fun. And sometimes you just need to smile. Sometimes you just need something to write about that makes you smile. So that's why I used it. Okay, so moving on from the Porcelain Tarot. Oh, by the way, this is by Destiny, guys. It's a studio that creates decks. I think they do have other decks, but this is the one that I like from them. Okay, let's see. And the last... Oh, one moment. The last deck that I used was the Wonderland Shadows Tarot. And oh wow. I am definitely going to have a review of this tarot deck on my channel. I don't want to say a lot about it right now, other than it was very good working with this tarot deck. I was sort of hoping that it wasn't going to be as great as the experience was. I will have to say that this is a very shadowy deck. So I don't use reversals for this deck, and this is also a very long deck. I have very small hands, so it's really hard to shuffle it, hand shuffle the deck. Let me show you. See, I'm already having problems. But doing this constantly, it hurts my hand, because I have to extend my hand in such a way that it's a little painful after a while. But other than the card length, it was a very good experience working with this deck, I have to say, and I'm gonna have a more expanded review on this deck. This is an AI deck. I am almost certain that this is an AI deck. It has to be, because I reached out for the creators and they didn't deny nor confirmed that this was an AI deck, but it just for some reason the feeling of the deck just gives me that vibe. So I'm treating it as an AI deck. I will have to say that this deck went very much in depth with my shadow work. I also have to admit that this is probably a deck that I will not use for reading for others, because the deck is actually very scary. Sometimes when I pulled up a card, the card made me feel a little scared, and which is fine. I don't mind being scared by a card, usually, hopefully. But yeah, this turned out to be a very in-depth sort of tarot. for my daily practice, meaning it's just cutting through all of the debris and all of the walls and going straight to what that card means for you on that particular day and for the reason that you or I got the card. So extremely accurate in that regard. I do have to say that this is not for everybody. It's not going to be for everybody. You are confronted by yourself in a way that it is uncomfortable. So I know that this deck is not going to be for everybody. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it when I do a review on this deck, because I feel like that conversation needs to take place, and I need to elaborate a little bit more about working with an AI deck. I will say that I was hoping that I wasn't going to be successful in working with the AI deck, but I was. So I understand the arguments against AI decks. I am an artist myself, so I definitely don't want art to be stolen from others. And unfortunately, right now, there isn't a way for the computer to filter what art is appropriate to take and what art isn't. So I understand. I get it. I am not very sure if I will get another one. This deck has shown me that I'm able to work with AI decks, but I haven't seen other AI decks that I particularly like. This one, again, I liked because it was based on Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, and I was actually able to relate a lot of things to the story and also the darkness that is in Wonderland. So, yeah, very, very pleased. Great acquisition. I do have to say that one of the good things about this deck is that it was cheap. So, and it's actually great cardstock, guys. Yeah, it's gilded though, which it's not that I don't like gilding. Again, I like it, but it'll chip off. It doesn't matter if you riffle shuffle it or not; it'll just chip off. And I take good care of my decks, guys. I do, because I have some decks that are not mass market like this one, and I just have to take care of them. I want to be able to use them for a very long time, and I honestly, I have some of the decks that I have that are not mass market and you can't get anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna do my best to take care of them. But yeah, there you go, guys. So those are the decks that I used for Yule. I will be using just one deck for in bulk. That deck is going to be the Nameless one by Sia Hunt. And the reason why I'm only using one is because it's a 118 card deck, and it includes the Tarot and Oracle. So I thought, oh, maybe I will use that for that time until Astera. And then after I'm done using it, I'm actually going to be able to give you guys a review, and I'm probably just going to call it my in-bulk review of the Nameless one Tarot by Sia Hunt. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so that's it, guys. Those are the tarot that I use for my daily practice and for readings for others, from Jewel all the way to Imbolc. I hope that you guys had a really nice Christmas, and also a great New Year's. And I think we also had the Chinese New Year. It's the year of the wood snake. I love that. I love the motif of the snakes with the flowers. It's really pretty. I really like it. But let me know in the comments if which one's your favorite tarot, which ones you liked. Would you consider using any of these decks for your daily draw practice? And let me know in the comments, and hopefully we'll have a conversation there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye, YouTube. You married me.
Yeah. And I think Popo peed on the cat's tunnel out there.
He did not.
Yeah. Mary Beth was like, Popo, did you just pee on this? And I'm like, well, at least he peed. So, yeah. Okay. Where are the things?
Do 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 do. Baby Popo, come on.
Come on, let's go.
Gods, I think I'm sitting on my Kleenex. I hope my husband doesn't use this for the outtakes. Okay, let's see. We are going to move ourselves. Wait.